We all had an early vision of what our lives would look like, and then life actually happened. From marriage to motherhood, career dreams, and everything in between, this is Life Actually with Mary Bell. Welcome back to Life Actually with Mary Bell and Erica Soto. This is part 2, where this whole conversation is going to be a great one for creative people. So if you're an author, writer, photographer, artist, poet, you're probably going to love this episode. So if you didn't catch part 1 with Erica, I would urge you to go back and do that. We learned a lot about her magical childhood, which I loved talking about because it reminds me a lot of my own, how she got into just her art business, right? And a little bit of her growing up, Puerto Rican, Latina in New Jersey, and now New York. Creativity is a superpower. You said that, and when I asked you for a bunch of bullet points and like what we could talk about, that stuck with me because everybody asks me, how did you know you wanted to write a book? And like, I've always been a good writer. My mom saved all my writings from when I was small in a big ass bin of like, and I could go through all of them now. I am the person who writes the long letters to people, the long-winded captions, and it's just all a creative side to my personality. And I've realized in my older age, when I was younger, in college too, when all my friends were in finance, in law, a physician's assistant, medical, they all had very esteemed degrees and jobs. And I did event planning, and I was always making the least amount of money out of everybody. And I was like, what am I supposed to be doing with my life here? Meanwhile, my creative side was always there because you need creativity if you're an event planner.
Yeah.
It was always there dormant. And not until the last few years did I really decide to make it and turn it into book writing. So it's all working for me now. And now also podcasting, like there is a creative element to podcasting. Like, hey, how do I bring this person on my show? How do I relate it to the journey that I'm in right now, where I'm going? How does it relate to my books, my career? So you have to really like pick up little pieces of somebody's story, weave it into your own to create another story on camera as we're talking to each other now. Yeah. So creativity as your superpower. You are a painter, you are a poet, right? Like, yes. What is your favorite lane of creativity?
I'm like, I don't know if you remember, in an episode of Barney, they used to have something called a Barney bag. Okay. And the Barney bag had like all bits and bobs of little trinkets and things, and then he'd reach inside and they'd make something. And that's what I like. I like to like see what I have on hand and make something beautiful out of it. Take something maybe not so, something unsuspecting, okay, and make it pretty.
Find the beauty in things.
Yeah, just like have that power to do a before and after. Like you see what that is. Oh, I look at how I can see it become, and then when it's something big and beautiful, like that to me is very impressive. But that can apply to so many things. It could be a blank canvas with artwork. It could be, found poetry. It could be, doing collage making. It could be weaving a beautiful story or a letter. I love letter writing too, like telling someone how you feel and saying it, with such elegance and, that it moves them to cry. It's like that before they weren't crying and after they're so emotional, you move them.
A ton of emotion with your creativity.
Yeah,
and that's the reason why we all love certain movies. That's the reason why we all love certain songs. Like, it's more than just the movie and it's more than just the song. It's what it makes you feel inside. And that's what I try to write in my books too. So I say a lot of times, like I'm a romance author and there's like varying degrees of romance. There's super smutty, there's closed door. Mine are sexy-ish, but like the point behind my books is really always the relationships with yourself and with the people. So Mia and Gennaro and Vivian Memento, like he's super sexy, but he's a gentleman and they have a really good relationship or end up having a really good relationship. And it's important to me to write that because that's what I want in my own life. That's what I have, what I worked really hard for alongside my husband. And so I love taking creative spins on things that mean a lot to me in real life. And when you do poetry, I feel like poetry in particular it could be a form of therapy.
Oh, yeah. Because it's like, for me, poetry is life's lessons and realizations, and me expressing it so that I hopefully have someone else hear it and validate me in a way. So, like if it moves you and you agree with what I'm saying, that I'm feeling seen in a way that doesn't get touched by you verbally saying, oh, that's, hi, Erica, nice to see you. Like, how are you? It's like two souls, touching each other and acknowledging one another, seeing someone else, kind of, relate or say, oh, your poetry moved me and thank you so much for sharing that. Like you had a moment that you and I were in the same space listening to something that I thought in my mind, and now I've read it aloud and now it's a part of our experience together. And that to me is intimate and special and like,
Okay.
On a different level than just saying, hey girl, how are you?
Right. Now, how do you describe poetry being different than regular writing?
Poetry is for me more like expressive with a flair. It just has that style and that cadence and that kind of attitude of it's like the difference between wearing a plain dress and then wearing a prom dress. It's just like that little extra something different from
I was actually
writing.
just going to equate it to like if you had a flowy dress and you were walking through like the woods or something, like it flows.
Yeah, it's just instead of it just being plain, there's just more emphasis on the experience, not just the hearing of it, but reading of it. It's just a different experience. It's more you have to pay attention a little more. Every word can mean something. Every affliction, every period, every pause, every comma has an emotional kind of nuance to it.
Okay. And if you were sitting there and you were just, say you're having a shitty day and you're like, I need to go creatively fix these issues, just escape into
like anytime there's a good cry involved and I have no one else to talk to about why I'm crying because they won't understand why I'm crying, the pen and paper usually come hand in hand.
Well, when do you pick like painting versus writing?
It just depends. Painting can be a lot more setup involved. Pen and paper is like a good, easy, quicker. Even sometimes voice notes helps too, that I can be inspired by something, an experience, a movie, music, a memory. A lot of times, other poets too can inspire me, and you just in that moment just want to express yourself because you're in overwhelm or you're in an emotional state, or you are like, oh, I want to remember how this feels. Let me write this down, because it doesn't always have to be something sad. It could be something like exhilarating or like giving birth, or something that's life-changing in a good way, or when you're thinking about, oh, is that my last first kiss? These little moments in life that you don't want to gloss over. You want to just keep around for a while.
Okay. When you really need to get to know yourself in order to do business, right? Like in order to start a business, you need to know what it is that you want to do.
Yeah.
You need to know yourself well as far as your strengths and your weaknesses.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess in your space, creativity obviously is at the forefront. But when you're deciding like, hey, what kind of events do I want to do, or what kind of emotions do I want to probably even evoke from the people who come to my events, like where does that inspiration sort of stem from? And does it? Like, is it more just transactional, like, hey, this is a good location and here's a good thing for somebody to paint? Or, and maybe this is even good for you for future, like build in a lot of these emotional components. And like we were talking about, therapy and talking to somebody, like maybe that's even a great avenue for you to explore, to sort of combine all of these things, and you could bring other people in. Like maybe it could be a version of like therapeutic art for people.
Yeah. Well, that I do have a certification. I'm trained in over 40 workshops as a therapeutic art life coach. So I do have a little background in some art for wellness type of events. So when it comes to event planning and that kind of thing, it's more so being observant about what people want and how I'm willing to serve it to them. So people want to be out with their friends, connecting, community, that kind of thing. Well, in my realm of strengths, I am a talker. I'm easily, you can get to know me easily. I can host a large group of people and feel like I'm having a conversation with every single person and being able to instruct every person and having that connection and then having them meet new people, whoever attends the event. So kind of having a safe place or a good space that people can come together, meet, and just have a good day out and do something fun. Those are kind of like the base requirements when it kind of goes into event planning and doing some kind of art-related pop-up.
Okay.
So that's kind of where I go first.
All right. And then I think this was one of the things that you had said too, finding inspiration to basically start something from nothing. So building your business, but then also in those lulls that we sort of talked about where like maybe you didn't get ticket sales or maybe you don't have events lined up, like what place do you sort of go to in order to move past like those boulders that stand in your way?
You become observational. For me, it's Instagram. There's a plethora of people and creatives and creators that literally, for me, people, my husband's probably thinking, oh, you're scrolling again. And it's like, no, I'm doing research. And it really is seeing what people are already doing and seeing how I fit and how I can either do it better or do it the same or, bring the same energy and kind of follow some trends and kind of put my own spin on it.
Okay. I love getting to know you, and then also basically hearing your story, coming into your own as an entrepreneur. How does the way that you grew up and your passions and interests from being a kid play into being an entrepreneur? And really, like, do you find it harder now when you have monetary like value attached to it? So like you're doing this now because you have bills to pay, of course. Is it easier or is it harder, or perhaps it's even more motivating? I don't know. You talk about like when you take something that could be a hobby or it's a passion of yours, but then you turn it into a money maker or something to help move your family along. Does it kill the joy in it for you at all?
I feel like it's a game for me. Like, what can I do next? What can people believe that I can do? And then me actually pull it off. And then they pay me for it. So it's more like
Something
having
that's
fun
like
with myself.
right.
Like, oh, what am I going to do now? Like, let's go to the drawing board. What can we create? What will people be willing to do?
Almost like this does not feel like work, but when it's executed properly.
And then that's why it almost feels even more personal, that when it's not successful or it doesn't pan out the way you expect, that it almost feels a little personal, like, oh, this was a really good idea. Why didn't you guys see my good idea? Okay. And then, you got to pivot.
You learn what you're willing to compromise and what you really value in order to be successful.
Yes.
Right? Mm-hmm. So what have you learned to compromise on in this whole journey of yours?
I compromise a lot when it comes to expectations in terms of the amount of people that come to the event. Some events, I've had events with corporate wellness that's like up to 300 people.
Oh, wow.
Some that are on Zoom, some that are in person. And then I've had events that it's only 5. And some people would be like, oh, you only have a paint party of 5 people? Yeah, but I'm getting to know these 5 other people. And it's so intimate. And it feels like you leave with a friend or you leave with a moment that you can talk about that you're like, oh, that was such a good night. And isn't that all what life is a bunch of good moments and good nights with good people? Mm-hmm. And that just keeps me motivated of just having that impact and having those connections. And I mean, getting paid for it is just the top of, it's just like a little extra. Okay, cool. Great.
It's very much related to writing books because there are times when I find myself writing, or if I write like a really great chapter and I'm like, oh my God, that was so good. Mm-hmm. And I want to go back and read it right away. And then there's other times where I could be struggling through chapters and like, okay, I'm writing a book and like it's a mental game of toughness. I'm like, what am I really doing here by like writing a romance story? Like what? I'm not changing the world.
How dare you have the audacity to think you could?
Sometimes your brain goes there and then I get a random message from, it could be somebody I don't even know who bought my book on Amazon. And they're like, I have been out of the reading space for so long and I picked your books up because XYZ posted about it. I could not put them down, and it's made me so excited to read again.
Best. Like, I had a woman from a corporate wellness class who hadn't painted before paint a painting, went to the store the next day, bought a bunch of paint pouring supplies, and created like 50 works of art over the course of the year, to the point where she was in the gallery. And she was like, that was you. Thank you so much. You changed my life. And I'm like, oh, what? Little old me with an idea, with a pen, with, paintbrush and some paint. And you created a whole place of joy for yourself you didn't even realize that you could tap into. Like, that is such an amazing, amazing feeling.
Well, and that's your creativity as a superpower. Like, you have the ability to help people just...
Yeah, and that's why being creative is so important, especially with writing. You have such an influence. Like, writing is thinking on paper. Okay, so it's your thought, kind of frozen in time. And you sat there in one moment and you had this whole world created, and here you are, someone looking at you. I talked about in the other episode, like someone recognizing, your soul and what you've wrote, and acknowledging, hey, this is great. This is amazing. This is like seeing you for your art and kind of complimenting it is like the highest praise.
It is too. And like, I also think that way too with when I write stuff, is that I really do try to infuse things that I've learned in life in my books, and stuff that Jay and I went through, or in future books, I have more women's fiction coming out, so it's less romance, more like relationships with, the women themselves, their friendships, their marriages. So it'll be very much like real life based. And I love infusing things that I've learned either from me and my lessons, or my friends, or my family, so that when people are reading, they just feel less alone when they're going through stuff at home. And I'm sure that it's similar with painting and poetry, like any word that you could put, even if you reached one person that it resonates with, you're using your creativity.
I'm good. I'm golden. I can die happy tomorrow. And that's like been the whole thing of like having that creative outlet. I mean, not only can help you if you are experiencing some kind of emotional, moment in your life, or some kind of turning point where like you don't recognize where you are. That's when people turn to art, is that they've never been in this place or this space before, and they can't put a word to it, or they can't put a feeling to it, or they can't put a picture to it. And that's what art does for people who are in pain, or in, a changing point. When things don't look familiar, they look for the familiar, and they find it in art, in a song. How many countless songs have you heard that, that's when you heard when someone passed away, or what they play at a funeral, or, all these moments in time. That's when art really becomes that, essential thing. People think that, art's not essential, but it's everything.
I think art is just everywhere, and you don't even realize where it is.
Yeah, or if it inspires you or influences you throughout your day.
It does it so naturally, and you don't even realize.
Exactly.
It could be, like you said, a song, a movie, a TV show even.
Yeah.
A painting that you walk by, and that just like, that would be one if it was on you don't even have to tell me that that's Boss Babe Universe, right?
Yeah.
You get a confident, beautiful, like...
Manifesting.
It's really, truly... So what is the ultimate goalpost marker for your version of success? So if you take your business, you take motherhood, like, what is it that would, like, on paper, you'd be able to say, I am successful as...
I mean, I feel like the answer is supposed to be $1 billion, but
no.
For me, I feel like the success is defined by me being able to wake up in the morning and like who I am and like what I do. And people can find it respectable, and that I'm making real change and impact with whoever I meet throughout my day. That when I go on my little walk of life, my kids can see me be a role model, or I can go to the supermarket and I can say, hey, we want to come to one of my events, and I can make a new friend, someone that might have felt lonely. That to me is successful, when I can make money off of doing what I love and sharing a positive, a positive outlet for people to kind of join. So that's what the events for me really.
Yeah, that would have been my answer before $1 million, because again, it's the same thing we were talking about. Kids being number one versus you being number two. You have to be the best version of yourself to be the best parent to your kids. And $1 million can come later if you're leading with a goal of, hey, I really want to positively impact as many people as possible, while being happy to wake up in the morning myself, being really proud of what I'm doing. Because that for me too, years past, everybody, like, you go to high school reunions or go to family reunions, like, oh, what are you doing? Like, I work for a financial advisor. I work in a hospital as a receptionist. Like, I had a bunch of dumb jobs, felt like, at the time. They all served a purpose. But, like, I didn't feel passion in them. I hated explaining to people what I did. Oh, what do you do for that camp that you work for? Like, I don't know, a little bit of everything. When I say I am an author and now a podcaster, like, that has to do with conversation and creativity and using my ability to speak and write in a way that makes people feel less alone and just have, like, entertainment and love and different value in their life. Like, that's a great way. I feel really proud of that.
And then it could be like, highly successful people that are making a lot of money sometimes don't have the time because their time is in their business. And for me, time is really important, especially that the kids are young, that they know their mom, they know where she came from. And, they get to learn about their past and they see me on the reg versus being at a 9 to 5 or working 12 hours a day. And then, see me for an hour at night and they don't really know who I am, or they feel like, oh, mom's always working. So it's like, well, what are you trading your success for? Well, and it's
so hard. And so, because I'm home and Marina's home, and it, like, when she fills out those things, like for Mother's Day, like, oh, what does mommy do? She works. So I'm not even at work, but I'm at the counter on my computer a majority of the day. And I joke about it because, like, it doesn't even
Sophia
matter.
Put one day, she was like, yeah, mom's working it. I'm like, what do you mean I'm working it, Mother's Day? I was like, Sophia, you got to be a little more careful when you do mommy's cards in school. They might want to know why I'm working it.
It. But it's, that's what they grow up seeing. And I just think, too, like, whatever you're doing. So if you are, and I'm big on this, too, maybe you are the woman who had a big degree and you have a ton of college debt because you wanted to go do something, and you have a 9 to 5, or even more accurately now an 8 to 6, and you're commuting and you're out of the house and you have your kid in daycare, you have a nanny. Like, that's nothing for you to feel bad about either, because then a lot of those moms, when they're home, like, they're turning off their work because they are able to a lot of the time. Small business and, like, entrepreneurship, like, I'm on all the time. But I do have the flexibility of, like, all right, I'm going to go do and spend this time with my girl right now. But later on, I'm going to have to get right back on the horn and start doing stuff.
Yeah.
Sometimes if you're a working mom and you're out of the house and you come home, you're like, all right, I don't have to worry about that stuff till I go in the next day. So you can be a lot more present.
Yeah.
But regardless of the type of mom that you are, the type of career that you have, the most important thing that I think is that your kid just watches you be really happy, as happy as possible, and content with what your career path is.
It's really hard, especially, those moms that do have to work those hours, especially, healthcare workers and all that. You're doing, really rewarding work, and you really can't be with the kids. It doesn't negate the fact that, it has to still get done. But if you don't like it, how are you living your life that way?
Right. Well, and then that's the thing. Your family will feel that too. If you're in a job, and we talk about this a lot, it's like, if you're not happy in your career, quote, just change it. It's not always as easy as that, as we know. But also, the more that we age and the older that we get, like, you really have to take a look at, like, if I'm not really very happy right now, or I don't feel very content, like, I really do need to look at next steps so that I don't waste away, that good portion of my life. And also so my kids don't see somebody just sort of suffering and being unhappy.
Yeah, I do a lot of my mothering based on how would I feel if someone did it to me, or I experienced that whole, treat others how you want to be treated type thing.
Yeah.
And a lot of the inspiration of being an entrepreneur and owning my own business comes from that, showing my kids, this is how, you live so that you're happy. This is how you live so that you know to take care of yourself. That, just being that kind of role model type thing. But yes,
your phone went off and I just swallowed saliva, and now I'm joking. We're not going to cut this out, though.
It's life. This is living.
Life Actually,
this
baby.
is Life Actually with Maribel. Yes.
Sorry. All right. Well, actually, that was a very good segue into the lightning round.
Yay!
Which is one of my new favorite things. So it's just like little random, bits and pieces, whatever, like the first thing that you think of.
My word vomit, yes. Let's do this.
Yes, but we just have to like rapid fire go. Let me
Yes.
take one more swig of water.
Let's cheers to that.
Cheers to that. Oh, that's like my first celebratory choked on my own saliva. I've been here for a lot of episodes. It's the first time that's happened. So
I love that you saved it for me.
what?
I love that you saved it for me.
Well, thank you. I knew you wouldn't judge me. Okay. Lightning round with Erica. Do you say Soto or Soto?
Soto.
Soto. Okay, Erica Soto.
Although now that you're telling me that, I'm like going to be thinking about it on my car ride home. Like, how do I really say my last name?
Well, I feel like if you were speaking Spanish, how would you?
Yeah, Soto. Erika
Soto.
Marie Soto.
Right. That's probably where I'm
But
getting
Soto, I mean.
All right, Erica Soto. Lightning round. Ready?
Yes.
Lazy days or adventure?
Lazy days.
Pick one. Good hair, good makeup, or good nails.
Ooh. Good hair.
Okay. Guilty pleasure song.
Oh. Baby Got Back.
Good one. Guilty pleasure movie.
Fools Rush In.
Oh, okay.
Yes, a little Salma Hayek.
I'm really very proud of you and Yvette. Like you both, if somebody asked me my guilty pleasure song or movie, I'd still be thinking about it 3 hours later.
Because I literally just watched it
Oh,
too.
good. Okay. Childhood celebrity crush.
Oh my God, who did not love JTT? I was a J14 magazine girl.
Really?
YM girl. Like magazines were it.
Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
Yes.
Yes. From
Yes.
Home Improvement.
Yes, from Home Improvement.
Oh my goodness.
Lion King.
That's pretty funny.
Yes.
Celebrity crush today.
Ooh. Oh, this is hard. I mean, Henry Cavill for the longest.
Oh, he's a good one. He's very handsome.
And he's nerdy too, so I like that.
You like the nerdy guys?
Mm-hmm,
All right, yeah, I like the ones that like could violently kill somebody. I
Mm.
don't know what that's about, but okay. Favorite vacation spot?
Oh, Puerto Rico.
Okay, and your favorite Puerto Rican dish is the next question.
Ooh. Oh, wow. This is hard. I mean, pernil. I have to say roast pork shoulder.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What is it called?
Pernil. Pernil.
Okay.
Pernil.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
What am I gringo? I say pernil.
Pernil, yeah.
Yeah.
Pernil.
Claudia.
The alternate is pernil.
Pernil.
Yeah.
No, I at least do the
Pernil,
eel on
yeah.
the end. Okay.
Pernil.
What is your favorite American food? Like your guilty, like.
Any seafood. Like
Really?
seafood. Boil, shrimp, crab.
All right.
Yeah.
Like, are we a lobster roll kind of gal?
I
or-
could do lobster roll, like any like really, like. But you could see me like with a plate of crabs and be obnoxious, cracking with my teeth.
Oh, I
like,
absolutely hate that stuff.
yeah.
If it's
You
from the
would
sea, it
hate
ain't
me.
for me.
Like we go to City Island and Victor has to wear like a shield because it's like
You're flinging butter everywhere?
Yeah. He's like, no, it's not for me. He'll have a shrimp and then be all right.
Oh,
but
no,
I'm
I
like
just-
king crab leg, and I'm like,
Oh, God. No. If you had to pick one, paint or poetry?
paint.
Okay. To relax, would you rather read, watch something, or listen to something?
Listen to something.
Okay. Which is more difficult, motherhood or entrepreneurship?
Entrepreneurship has its difficulties, but motherhood is life changing
Okay.
in the way that nothing else is. So
Well,
yeah.
probably too. It's difficult, but it's more rewarding in a way.
Yeah,
Like you're-
it's like the biggest and best thing that you could ever attempt to do with two humans that can
You're in
reflect
charge of
back.
other lives, yeah.
Like someone there to say, hey, we were there too, and thanks for that.
Yeah. Or if you-
Entrepreneurship, it's just you by yourself,
Yeah.
doing all the things. At least, with kids, you got someone else telling you, hey, we were there too. It was pretty good.
Yeah, well, and you hope that they say that.
Hope that, yeah.
Rather go on a romantic date or have someone write you a love letter?
Oh, I love a love letter.
Like,
Victor
figure.
writes me love letters. He goes, dearest beloved. And he just makes fun of me the entire
Ooh.
time. He'll just go off on some weird rant and tent, but I just love it. Anytime he jokes around, it's like, dearest beloved.
What is your biggest turn off?
Ooh.
It could be like whether it's a client, like what's the first thing you would think of?
Guys who are mean to kids.
Oh, okay.
Like if you don't have a natural goofballness around a child, they're just like,
Can't be trusted?
yeah, no.
I get it.
No.
Biggest turn on?
I like an accent for sure.
What kind of accent?
Any accent.
Oh,
It could
okay.
be a Spanish accent. It could be a British accent. It could be an Australian accent. I'm like,
Okay.
That's the guy.
That's the guy for you. As far as love languages are concerned, words of affirmation or physical touch?
Affirmation.
Okay.
I like compliments.
Acts of service or quality time?
Acts of service. Do
Okay.
the dishes for me, and I'm like, hey, baby. Hey.
Receive gifts or give gifts?
I like to give gifts, but I don't very often receive a lot of gifts because I'm like, don't spend money on me.
Okay.
Don't waste it. It's fine. I'm okay. I don't need a gift.
And are you living your life to the fullest?
I will be.
Yeah.
And that's how I'll live every day. Even if I'm not today, I will.
Good.
I'll work towards it.
And that's I asked that only because like life actually, right? So this segues again into my last question. We all had a vision of what our life would be, and then life actually happens.
Ooh, it's so much better.
Yeah.
It's so much better when you don't plan it.
Yes, and I'm a big planner, but my biggest and most favorite thing to ask everybody, because when I've went through years of therapy and things like that, I always say to myself, when I'm 80 and I look back, I just want to be really proud of everything. I want to, like I said, regret the things that I did, not the things that I didn't do. I want to have a genuine and true, loving, romantic, affectionate relationship with my husband. I want to have taught my daughter all the possible lessons that I could have in the time that I had with her.
Yes.
And I just want to look back on a life with like my family and friends with just like love and really good times. Like it's a lot, but like those are the things that mean the most to me. So when you look back at your life when you're 80, what is it that you mostly want to see?
That I had audacity.
That's a good one.
That no matter what I wanted, what I created, what I thought of, I could say, "Oh, I want to do that tomorrow," and it was done.
Okay, that's
what I want to look like. Erica could turn nothing into something.
You are a true creative. That's like blank canvas, blank piece of paper stuff.
Anything's possible.
Yeah,
you just have to like dream it. That's another thing too.
Dream it and then do it.
Yep.
For sure.
It's like we don't have enough time for wonder. So maybe those people listening out there, wonder a little bit today how big it could be, how great it could be, and then go do it.
Yeah,
see
like
what happens.
let yourself like just taste it, and then
because sometimes we
it.
dream a little too small. Sometimes we could feel like it's delusional. But I'm proof that anything can happen.
I love that. I appreciate you so much. I'm so happy that you came on.
I'm so happy I came on.
You made me want to get right back. I haven't been on my computer writing in a while just because I have so many other things going on. But like, I cannot wait to.
Honestly, my inner thoughts are like, I was like, oh my God, I love Maribel so much. I wish she would make a character based on me. I would love that so much. I would feel like the biggest honor. I would just love like a little like cameo moment in a Maribel.
You know what's funny is that everybody's like, who is this person based on? And it's never based on one person because you just can't. Yeah,
But you take the little bits and pieces.
I take little bits and pieces of everything and I form a bunch of stuff that way, which is again creativity. You're pulling bits and pieces.
But I'm excited to see what you come up with next because I know it's going to be so great.
Thank you. And thank you again for coming on. I'm super proud of you. I know that you're going to just keep doing wonderful creative things. I can't wait to come to another paint party.
I can't wait till we're on episode 579.
We'll see. What did Dave say? Dave said for all the new people doing podcasts, like what was the benchmark? He said like 200 episodes or something. He said that. So I think we're at
well on your way.
We're at like technically it might be cheating though because I break my episodes into 2 parts. But we're just gonna roll with it.
We're gonna go with it. It's all right.
All right. So tell everybody again if they're just catching episode 2 where to find you.
Yes, you can find me on Instagram at Enjoy Erica Art Studio or my website enjoyericaartstudio.com. I'm a mobile paint party service, so I can come to you. And if you ever want to join me for some art, definitely reach out. I'd love to paint party with you.
And I've been there. They are so fun. Well worth a drive, even if they're
and I'll come to you.
She'll
too.
come to you. Yes.
Yeah, we can hang. We can have a time.
Thank you so much, and thank you guys for tuning in. Like, subscribe, do all the things. Thank you as always to Claudio of Calle Visions.
Yes, thank you,
We'll
Claudio.
see
This
you
was
next
awesome.
week. Yeah.
Bye.
Thanks so much for tuning in. Like, subscribe, share, follow the full journey on social media at the handle mary.bell.books. And if you have need for audio-visual content creation and recording services, Calle Visions is located in Stamford, Connecticut, and can also be found on Instagram at CAYI Visions.